Chapter 6 we'll have a look at thinking. In the previous videos we looked at how sensing and feeling and memory etc. could be causal processes, and maybe it's easier to accept that those could be causal processes because we're used to not having that much control over what we remember or what we feel etc. But thinking seems harder to accept should be a causal process because it's supposed to be rational. It is rational. But how can that be if it's a series of events, causes and effects guided by the laws of nature? That seems to be two different things. So for instance, philosopher John McDowell, he argues that you have the natural space, but the space of reasons is something different from this because when we're reasoning, we have this standard. It's a sort of normative standard for what is more or less reasonable that our thinking matches up to. But you don't have that same standard for natural events. They don't have to be more or less reasonable. They just do what they do. So how can thinking be a causal process? That's what we're going to look at in this chapter. And I'll start by with some videos on thinking. Try to understand how thinking can both be reasonable and a causal process. And then of course it's possible to raise a lot of objections, and we'll do that when we cover videos for chapter 6.2. So that's what will be happening in the following videos.